Welcome to Lake Arts and Entertainment Showcase, covering the arts throughout all of Lake County. Magnificent arts, music, drama, the theater, and all of the visual arts.
Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Lori Farfaglia, host of the Arts and Entertainment Showcase here on Lakefront TV. Today we are in studio here at the Lakefront TV studios, and joining me, I'm so thrilled, is Ruth King, singer-songwriter. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us.
My pleasure.
So when I was watching you get ready, when you were rehearsing here, you seem to have music in your soul. Have you always been musically inclined?
Yeah. Yes, it's been there. My mother's a singer. My dad's a singer, songwriter. My stepdad's a drummer. Sisters play piano. It's just, it's over for me. Music is all there is.
So it's in your blood. Mm-hmm. Now, do you write all of your songs that are on your albums? I know you have 4. This is your 4th album.
Yeah.
You write all your songs?
Nobody else is singing them, so I want to make sure they get heard, so I sing them. I only do originals on my CDs so far.
You don't write for other people, or?
I can't find somebody that wants a song. I could write one. You want a song? No?
I'm not musically
you don't need
inclined.
A song? Okay, but if anybody needs a song, I do that.
And I have to ask, do you take your guitar with you everywhere? Like, what if you get inspired?
Okay, well now with the iPhones, I got the little microphone thing on there, and yeah, I'm always inspired, and usually it's in the car, but then you have to work on it when you get home from the gig, and when do you sleep, you know?
Exactly. Well, do you mind playing one of your songs for us now?
I'd be honored.
Thanks.
Everybody's got something to say about the way that I move. Most folks think they got a better way to do the things that I do. Oh, yes, they do. But now you should have done this and you should have done that. And why didn't you? Why didn't you? You tried to be so cool. And then somebody gets mad and step out of line. And the teacher wants to send me to school. The teacher says, that girl don't know nothing. She's just making a mess of everything. But I say I'm doing all right for a scared girl. Yes, I am doing all right. Hey, I'm just a scared girl sometimes. I'm just learning. I ain't perfect, no, no, no. Making decisions about everyday things is just a chance that I take. Now and then I come across an old friend. He say, you made a mistake. Oh, yes, you did. Well, now I could have done this and I could have done that, but I didn't choose that particular plan of action. I guess I'll write it off as being just one of those things. I have no regrets, but that's never been my fashion. And some say that girl don't know nothing. She's just making a mess of everything. But I say I'm doing all right for a scared girl. Yes, I am doing all right. Hey, I'm just a scared girl sometimes. I'm just learning. I ain't perfect, no, no, no. And some say that girl, yeah, yeah. And some say that girl, woo, woo, woo. Hey, but I say it again. I'm just doing all right now, baby. Doing just fine now, darling. Doing all right for a scared girl. I'm just a scared girl, just a scared girl, just a scared girl. But I'm doing all right. Doing all right. I'm just a scared girl, just a scared girl, just a scared girl. But I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Na 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 na. Doing all right. Yeah. Oh na 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 na. Yeah yeah. Well, I'm doing all right.
You can find Ruth's album on her website,
RuthKingBlues.com.
RuthKingBlues.com. That particular song that she just played was on her 3rd album, and it's also available on iTunes. So if anybody is a big fan of iTunes, you can go out and get it off of iTunes and your website.
It's called Scared Girl.
Scared Girl, that's the name of the song. Good, thanks for telling me
Yeah.
that. So when you're writing a song, how do you get the melody first? Do you get the words first? How does it come to you?
It's funny you should ask. I've been thinking about this because in my recent shows over the past several months, I've been including more of the backstory of where the songs have come from. And what has happened, I've got a three-tier story that includes, there are certain songs that go to one aspect of my life, certain to the second, and certain to the third. But in each case, the songs came as melodies, and the melodies always come in a moment of need. In a moment, you know, like when you have a place where you, where your feelings or your thoughts are just a little bit too much for you, and you hope that a friend calls, or maybe a friend does call, they just kind of telepathically know to call you, or you get a card in the mail or something. Those melodies come with that same amount of kindness, and I hear it, and then of course my first thought is that something I've already heard? Or is that an original? Is that something original? And when I get so excited when I think it might be original, so I hurry up and start working on the song.
So do you write out the words and the lyrics and the music and everything? What's your process that
What
way?
happens, the melody comes, I get my iPhone, I should plugs, my smartphone, and I record the melody just to get the gist of it, because of the timing, I don't want to forget about it. And then come the words. Then I get home. Usually that happens in my car. I don't know why, because I'm in my car a lot, I guess, for performances and traveling around. But then I get home with the guitar, whatever time, day or night, 3 in the morning, and it comes in pieces then. It's kind of like making it's like making lasagna. You know what I mean? You got this pot going over here, so the melody is continuing, but you got to cook the noodles, and then you got to layer it, and then you got to wait, and the ricotta is the messiest part. But
how long does it take usually before you? Is it different with every song, and is it like therapeutic? You know.
That's the word. It's therapeutic, and for me to write the song, and sometimes when people hear it, that has the same effect. And I don't quite know who it's having that effect for, but every now and then somebody will tell me it touched them, it made a difference. First part of your question you had.
So when I'll get back to that one, but when you're writing a song, something just hit me. When you're writing a song and we're listening to your songs, are we listening to your life? Are we listening to the story of your life? Is this the soundtrack of your life?
Yes, it is. It's the musical documentary, the live reality show, if you might want to call it that. Heck, everybody's got a reality show. I might as well do mine, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that you are a voting member of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, which is the Grammys.
Yes.
So the night of the Grammys, when you are watching the Grammys, knowing that the person that is on stage accepting the award was either your vote or not, how does that feel? How amazing is that?
It is. It's amazing. It's encouraging. And when I went out there, I've only gone to the show once. It's in L.A.
Yeah.
And but boy, that was fun to be there and to mingle and mix, to be sitting in a row, and then I got up to go powder my nose, as they say, and I walked past Bonnie Raitt, and she's talking, and I'm like, oh, that's what her voice sounds like when she talks. And there was Elvis Costello sitting with Burt Bacharach, and there's B.B. King. It was amazing to be in there. And these are the nicest people you want to meet. They're making eye contact. They don't know you. They know you. You know, in another setting, I would not be a peer. I'd just be a fan. But there, they encourage you so much, and I get to encourage others by voting.
How long have you been a voting member?
Over 10 years. They give you a little plaque. That's how I know that.
That's cool. Well, let's hear one more of your songs.
Well, the first song I sang was about being a scared girl and having the courage just to be whatever I am, no matter what anybody thinks. That came out of the past of being mixed, both black and white, and having a lot of opinions coming at me from both races in pre-civil rights America. Now, this song has a whole different tone. I was, strangely enough, in my young adult life, I was in a religious, kind of fanatical, well, it was a cult, and I escaped after 16 years. While I was there, I was all confused about God and whether I was good enough and just what God might think of me. But once I left, some clarity came, and I wrote this song. This is my reset button called Back to Start. I'll be back to start, to the beginning of our love. Back when I first heard your voice in my deepest heart.
and now many years have passed. Aren't we back to start? Is there anything at all I can bring from where I've been, or is it just my heart that you long for all along? And the simple part of loving you has returned. In the simple joy of living in your love, my one concern. Am I living love, a love that you can own, bringing pleasure to your precious heart? Or are we back to start? If we are, I'm just glad you're here. And the simple part of loving you has returned. In the simple joy of living in your love, my one concern. Am I living love, a love that you can own, bringing pleasure to your precious heart? Or are we back to start? If we are, I'm just glad you're here. And the simple part of loving you has returned. In the simple joy of living in your, my one concern. Am I living love, a love that you can own, bringing pleasure to your precious heart? Or are we back to start? If we are, I'm just glad. If we are, I'm just glad you're here. Am I living love, a love that you can own, bringing pleasure to your precious heart? Or are we back to start? If we are, I'm just glad you're here.
That beautiful song was on Ruth King's 4th album. Thanks for sharing that song with us. That was amazing. You can find Ruth King's 4th album, Ain't Gonna Feel Bad About It, on her website.
Yeah,
Give us our website one more time.
Ruth King Blues.
RuthKingBlues.com. So tell me, what is your street team?
My street team are the folks that I've had a chance to sing for 33 years that I've been making my living as a singer. They're the ones that have always been there for me, showing up in the audience, and they're from all over the world, especially since I've been singing in this area, Central Florida, where people come from all over the world to vacation. I've got folks in the Netherlands and every country, and they want me to come and sing. So now they're letting me know of what festivals are in their hometown, because in every town all over the world, every summer and fall, there's a festival. And that's my passion, to go to where they live and sing for them, because they've been supporting me all this time in their encouragement.
Well, that leads me to my next question. I know you are a regular at the House of Blues
Yeah.
in Orlando. So what is it like being a regular there?
Well, first of all, I was a regular for about 8, maybe 7 years as a solo, and I still play solo out there on the front porch stage. But now they have me inside the restaurant where there's a stage. I think they say it seats 600. I don't know, but I have a band that plays in there now every month, every second weekend of every month, and that's incredible. I have the most beautiful people you can imagine on stage with me. I could just go on and on about them. I've got a violin player named Larry Ziegenfuss. Valerie Bennett has been with me singing backup vocals on percussion. We've got drums and bass. We've got a keyboard player. It's just too much. It's more than I could have asked for.
In that kind of arena, that really gives you a wide open audience to touch people from all over the world.
All over the world who insist that I come. And yes, the answer is yes, I will come. So that's what I'm working on. I just completed a DVD of the band, and now it's about submitting to these festivals.
How did you land that fantastic gig out at the House of Blues?
Jeez. You know, I have a friend now. She's my friend because she moved up north. Her name is Shannon Bradford, and her website is mindcapital.com. She was my career coach. She just said to begin a conversation with the venue, and about every 3 to 6 weeks, continue that conversation. And I did that for a couple of years. And eventually they got to hear me and put me on.
Now, when you're out there on stage getting ready to perform at the House of Blues, do you still get nervous?
Every time.
Every time?
Every time, even today. You know.
Really?
Yes. It's kooky. I mean, I'm a little bit kind of a shy person, you know, really.
I wouldn't believe that.
I know, but I get up with my art, and it gives me pleasure to share it.
Well, watching you, even when you start to play and you start to move, you start to feel it all over. That's why I'm like, how can somebody who has that much talent still get a little nervous?
Yeah, I think I just realized that it is something. It's some kind of balanced to get into. It's like surfing a little bit, and you know you could fall right off that surfboard and get caught up in a wave. And I just kind of watch my step when I'm performing. I just want to stay afloat there and make sure I'm paying attention.
Knowing that you still feel that and keeping it kind of real for you, what kind of advice would you give to beginners, even in the Lake County area that's watching this?
I have the advice. Where's my camera?
You have
Do I have
advice?
a camera? Nobody ever asks for my opinion, and finally someone's asking my opinion. No, it happened the other night. This is how I got this. I was singing at a hotel in Orlando, and there was a girl there who had a voice like I can't describe. If I've got one talent, she's got 10, this girl, and she's probably 12 or 13. You could tell there was an apathy about it. Her mother wanted her to sing. Anybody that heard her wanted her to sing. She was not into it, and she did it kind of begrudgingly. God bless her. So at the end, her mother said, well, if you ever need anybody to sing with you in your band, you know, my daughter's here. And I said, you know, her heart's not into it. She's got it here, and she's got it physically, a gift that like I've never heard. And I looked right at her and said, but make sure you put it in your heart. Find a way to get that into your heart so that you can sing from there. Then you'll realize it's a gift that you have that you give to others, and you won't ever want to stop. You'll take every opportunity to give that away.
Well, let's hear one more of your gifts.
I shall.
I like to sing this song. It's called That Same Wall. And it deals a little bit with the thing that I came through. I found a cure, thank goodness, but I started with substance abuse while I was still in grade school, and then survived 3 sisters that they actually passed away from the abuse. It was a lot to deal with coming up in a showbiz family. But now that I've found a cure, this song kind of gives me a bit of elation. Walls of mortar, walls of sand surround this lonely stranger with glass in hand. It goes down, burning to the heart and to the soul alone. Take me home, won't you take me home. That same wall is a slap in the face. Take a shot of whiskey and I'll insincerity. Believe in every word that liar says, yeah. Insanity breeds a live hot wire instead, yeah. That same one is a slap in the face. Take a shot of whiskey and I lost every trace of the modern man I came here to be. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. That same one is a slap in the face. Take a shot of whiskey and I lost every trace of the modern man I came here to be. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Yeah. Hey, can you see me? I can't see my own reflection, even when I'm staring eye to eye. Can it be me getting free from my deception, knowing I feel low enough to try? Let the walls fall down, yeah. Let the walls fall down, 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 down. That same one is a slap in the face. Take a shot of whiskey and I lost every trace of the modern man I came here to be. Yeah. Ooh, gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Gather all the prisoners and set them all free. Yeah, yeah, start with me. Yeah. Looking back to desperate days, the things I did to keep my place, crazy things, well, sometimes wrong, but I did alright. Somehow I got along. And in desperate days, my friends would say she's such a great look at her face. Well, that girl was wild. One day soon gonna come around. We better give her room. My friends were so good to me in my desperate days. Oh yeah, in my desperate days, y'all. I didn't lie. I tried not to cheat. Did what I could to make ends meet. Always traveling ahead of time, trying hard to leave myself behind. In the desperate days, I tried to bring confusion to my thoughts away. Hey, hey, hey. That girl is wild. One day soon gonna come around. We better give her room. My God was so good to me in my desperate days, y'all. Oh yeah, in my desperate days, now. In my desperate days, hey. In my desperate days, now. Yeah. That girl was a little bit crazy. Hey! I telephone late at night. Mom and Dad, are you alright? I never said I couldn't sleep. I was having a bad dream, and I woke up screaming. In desperate days, my folks would say she's such a crazy look at her face. Well, would you look at her? Our girl is wild. One day soon gonna better give her room. My books were so good to me. In my desperate days, and my desperate days, in my desperate days, and my desperate days, in my desperate days, my desperate days, in my desperate days, y'all. Looking back to desperate days, things I did to keep my place, crazy things, sometimes wrong, but I did all right somehow. I got along. In my desperate days, yeah, in my desperate days.
RuthKingBlues.com is where you can find her album. The songs that she just played for us, the first one you can find on your 4th album.
Yes.
The second song you sang for us, you can find on your very first album.
The second song, right?
Was on your
my very first album ever. It's called Desperate Days. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Steve Williams is a photographer and a videographer, and he has just filmed a music video of that last song, and it's really going to be cool. And he lives locally in Lake County, and it's being edited right now.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Listening to your introduction to your first song, I was sitting here thinking, you need to write a book. Have you written a book?
Funny you should say. Let's see, it's July. The beginning of this year, I submitted a screenplay, the first 20 pages of my story, to a production company. I didn't hear anything back, but I just kept writing, and I am writing this book. What I've done now, what's happening is my live show with my band is marrying my story, because my story really is the backstory of the songs themselves. And for so long, I've omitted that portion of it, and now I'm telling my story, and it feels pretty good.
That's fantastic, because it sounds like, from listening to your songs and your stories, that you have an amazing life, and you need to share it.
And so I am, and you're helping me.
Thank you. And when you get famous, you can come back to Lakefront TV again. Even more famous, come back to Lakefront TV again.
Even more famous. Who could be more famous than me?
So tell me, how can we find you? How can we see you? Do we go to your website?
Please, just my website. That's the best way to go.
That lists all of your House of Blues, your festivals,
and my Lake County performances. I play a lot here in Lake County. I moved here from Orlando 6 years ago, and only this summer have I started really playing a lot in Lake County, at least once or twice a month. I think that's nice because I get to see folks here, my neighbors. I get to play for my neighbors, for you guys.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure meeting you and talking with you today.
It's been my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us here on Lakefront TV Arts and Entertainment Showcase.